Hail, Chelas of the will of God. I salute you from the heart of Darjeeling and from the heart of this nation's capital, for I have not deserted the ship of state. Ladies and gentlemen, keepers of the flame, light bearers of the world, I declare to you in this hour my candidacy for President of the United States of America. Chelas of my heart, any number of the ascended hierarchy should so choose to declare their candidacy, and do desire, as the fervor of your hearts also desire, to see occupy the highest office of this land, one who does truly understand and espouse the will of God, His wisdom and infinite compassion. Therefore you, who are my Chelas, come then, and let me reason with you as to how I shall accomplish my goal. In the flame of dedication to the God government of Sirius, made manifest in America, I bid you be seated tall now, as members of the I Am race. Blessed hearts, There are proverbs in many nations which so state that the leadership of the people is that which they deserve. Let us examine then the science of this proverb. Is it not the concept of the coordinate in the earth? Therefore, if you do have my diamond heart and the diamond heart of Mary in your heart, if you do radiate such devotion to the will of God, shall you not deserve capable leadership of the same quality of heart? So it is, beloved, the people have magnetized candidates on the right, on the left, in two parties and more. And these candidates are indeed profiles in mediocrity. They have risen from the system, from the entertainment world. They have risen from the educational houses. They have come out of this continent fed by a food not adequate for heroes and conquerors. These are the products of a modern America, not like the one founded upon those great principles of individualism, as in the profile of your first president, George Washington. Thus, beloved, flanking me this night are the messengers Godfrey and Lanello. And in their hearts and in mine is a reaffirmation of our loyalty to and our upholding of the office of messenger of the great white brotherhood, whose mantle is upon the one through whom we speak. Therefore, beloved, we come to affirm that mantle as one which you may call upon for the profile of courage that must manifest as a counterpoint to that of mediocrity, which shall not win a war or the fight in the economy for balance, nor shall it win in space, in time, in the center of the earth, or in the heart of man. Leadership is born of a certain all-chemistry of God that was once the very fire and flavor of this nation under God, the mighty I Am presence. I come then seriously to declare my candidacy, yet my candidacy must come under cosmic law. What can I do then? By the order of the diamond heart, I raise up profiles of courage, profiles then in you, in each and every one of you, my chelas, who does pledge to become a part of that order, a true manifestation of leadership by the Holy Christ's self. Therefore, I run for office, and I truly run in the race, in the hearts of all of my true chelas. I myself then come into you and unto you, beloved, in your hearts, to define and to set forth such an archetypal pattern of holy Christhood, of the leadership of the Lord our righteousness, that in you shall be the grooming of my heart to take your place in positions of leadership, great and small. These are spiritual, beloved, and leadership as it pertains to the spiritual path of discipleship unto individual Christhood. You who then cheer when I declare my candidacy, you may vote for me, and you may vote me into office by becoming myself on earth. Your vote for me, then, is a vote of confidence in the will of God, in that holy Christhood whereby each and every one does grow in the stature, the nobility of the will of God, the wisdom, the study. And therefore, beloved, it is not a leaping to enter the political race to which I call you or myself, but the raising up of those whose hearts are so like Godfrey's, so like those of us who have occupied this office, that you will be the ensign in the earth, the mandate of the people whereby it may be said in heaven and on earth, this people does deserve in the highest temporal office of the land, that highest representative of Maitreya and of the great white brotherhood. Therefore, beloved, as I run for office, I shall look to raise up those who may qualify for our sponsorship. Thus far we say, we are the sponsors of right action. Therefore, let right action be illumined, be championed, and be taught as to what that awareness action may be in this land. Blessed hearts, when the people know what is right action, and when the people demand that the platforms of both parties contain that listing and roster of right action as a party platform, then the candidates, or the single candidate who does win over them all, must pledge to precipitate that right action by law, by the proper bills, by taking the helm of the ship of state. Blessed hearts, the people must not sleep, for once having the correct platform, they must demand that those who have promised fulfill. To break one's word concerning what one's actions will be occupying this office, beloved, is a crime against Almighty God, the state, and the people. Therefore, know and understand that those presidents who arrive and fulfill not their campaign promises ought to be subject to impeachment. This nation has gone soft on soft ice cream and all manner of sweets. It is a pity that the loss of life, the loss of nationhood, the loss of God government should have so much to do with the dietary intake of drugs and the fare of rock music and the toxins in the food and all manner of chemicals in the earth, the water, and the air. Thus the chemical warfare inflicted from without is also from within, as those who are afflicted, beloved, have no longer the spine to rise up and reject their overlords worldwide, who have put upon them that which has caused such a densification of the brains, which are already subject to limitation by genetic engineering of the fallen ones and the people's own karma. Thus, beloved, my plan for this year is that what a president ought to be should be reflected in the mien, in the visage, in the action, in the manner of speech and reasoning, in the deliberation, the counsel, and the honor of those who are Chelas of El Morya and those who are truly disciples unto individual Christhood. I would speak then of certain of those keepers of the flame who have thought that in serving our cause they could circumvent the laws of man and thereby also circumvent the laws of God. Blessed hearts, this is an utter mockery of our path and our goal. If you are the light of the world and a city that cannot be hid, and you are, recognize that your aura has a light that is of far greater intensity than those with whom you associate for the most part, by the very fact of your decree momentum, if not by your attainment, which means the action of retaining the Christ light within you. Therefore, each time you circumvent decency, honesty, kindness, comfort, and that which is appropriate according to the actions and decorum, as that which has been espoused by Godfrey and others, you do despite and disservice to our cause and our movement. This tendency, beloved, is not in isolated cases. The idea that you are a Chela has somehow made some of you to believe that you are also favorite sons and favorite son candidates, but instead you make yourselves candidates for the very mockery of the law that you say you espouse. And therefore we say that those who accept the call of Christhood under Jesus must recognize that in that calling and in that path they must exhibit tenfold the integrity and the cosmic honor flame, the credibility that is expected of normal citizens. Your lives must be impeccable. They must be exemplary. Understand, beloved, that not only are the angels looking, your I am presence and Holy Christ self, but your neighbors are also looking. And therefore many of you have caused embarrassment to ourselves, to this organization, and to its leadership by actions which simply belie all that you have been taught. If you begin at the beginning of squabbles and discords among the brethren, you will see that such a display of pettiness can in no way attract others to your faith. This must cease. I speak of mediocre examples that have been set by various individuals in this community, in its headquarters in Glastonbury, and throughout this state. It is a shame that when we secure dispensations from the central sun, that you should take them so lightly and not recognize that these do not come again so easily, and that for every misuse of our teaching and our path, and for every bad example, you give to us a mountain of karma to balance. Blessed hearts, you cheer with joy my declaration of candidacy. Perhaps you would run with me. Perhaps you would vote for me. I say to you, vote for me as being in you. Vote for me as being yourself. And say, what would Morya do in this situation? Some of you have fantastic notions as to what the Darjeeling Council would do in the situations that must be decided in the halls of the federal, state, and local governments. Some of you would be considerably surprised to know that your opinion of what the right step and the right measure is may not be our opinion or our counsel. Therefore, none can pocket or place in a slot El Morya or the members of the Darjeeling Council. We have made our statement long ago that we are neither left nor right nor middle of the road, but we do espouse truth wherever we find it. And we are determined to find that truth in the hearts of our Chelas and in their actions. Let there be no shame then, and let there be the withdrawing of the dissimulation of the word, whether by human bickering or competitiveness or simply an absence of the expression of divine love throughout this worldwide community. I would see chelas who have a sense of upholding the reputation of the great white brotherhood in the earth. I would have you everywhere you go be the sublime profile of those who have the courage to express their hearts and yet know that unless the expression of the heart be prompted truly by the Holy Spirit, it will not achieve the desired goal. Therefore, in the great silence of Gautama Buddha and the power of his meditation, there is a pulsation throughout the world of the balance of the threefold flame and of the balance of mind in individual and national self-rule. Self-rule for he that would keep the city and the citadel of our retreat. Hasten then, hasten to leap up 3 steps at a time on this flight. Beloved, you dare not any longer allow our garment to trail in the mud of human foolishness. Therefore I comment on the words of the messenger which I placed in her heart concerning those who become farther and farther afield from the will of God and know it not. Why do ye know it not? Blessed hearts, the receptacle of the diamond heart, the receptacle of the heart of Saint Germain, your own threefold flame is the measure and standard of right consciousness. Few are right all of the time, but many believe that they are right at least some of the time, if not all of the time. Thus each and every one in his own way becomes highly opinionated, and when his stubbornness of mind does therefore enter the realm of spiritual matters, where fantasy and the psychic enter in, some of our own who might have been our best servants are found simply out in the field, not centered where the action is. I speak of the fields of this property and beyond, and not of the general field of our membership, which has many fiery hearts who are realistic, while others dabble in any number of ways and paths and communications purported to be from our octave. Blessed ones, many say that it is easy to receive channelings from Saint Germain and others. Well, you may think it is easy from this level, and so it is to contact other minds disembodied. What is difficult, beloved, is that at our level, the dispensation to train a messenger, to raise up one, clothed with a certain inner garment, whereby you may trust our delivery of the word, requires an enormous placement upon the altar of God and on the line of battle of our lives, our causal body, our ascended state, our very being. The dispensation, therefore, for messengership does not come easily to us. And I will tell you what determines the continuity of the office. It is whether or not the hearers of the word assimilate the word, embody it, implement it, and whether or not the worded release does have the effect of changing a society, a civilization, and a planet for the better, whether or not the delivery and the mission and the organization we sponsor does produce the fruit of the annual ascension that is called for. It is beloved Godfrey who elected to take his ascension on this night, 1939. Blessed ones, the requirement for that ascension for that year had to be fulfilled. And thus it has been a tradition ever since that on New Year's Eve, some one individual on the planet does take his ascension, therefore attaining that immortal life that does again warrant the dispensation continuing. As we desire to do more for you and through you, we are therefore limited by each and every individual's use or misuse of our communication. And the karma we dread most is the karma of neglect. When the word is neglected, when the instructions are so carefully given, and people go out and develop a totally independent tack, if you will, as the approach, as their unique solution to the solving of the world's problems. Coming together then in winter in the white fire core of being and our retreat, it is a time for deliberation. It is a time for the review of Alpha's proclamation and the Wesak address, of Alpha's dictation, and even those deliveries that have come from the Lord of the world on the New Year's Eve past. Thus I say to you, beloved, as I run for office as President of the United States of America, one son of hierarchy, one daughter, one day, may be myself in form to be elected to that office. But it will come about only if you raise up that spirit of Christ in yourself uniquely, holding and keeping the flame, whereby heaven will be compelled not only to send you such souls of light, but to see to it that one becomes the leader of this nation. In the meantime, beloved, this year and the election which follows, all of the speeches and campaigning that will take place, being a period of grave darkness, is a time and a space for the keeping of the flame of America, of the office of the President, that the very mantle itself be able to be called forth again. At this time, when some of you, and certainly not all, may be involved in the small problems that affect your households or your interactions in business and with one another, that which is being deliberated by the Karmic Board and the Council of Sirius is whether or not the mantle of the office of President of the United States shall indeed fall upon the one who is elected. Blessed ones, if one not worthy is elected, there may come to pass, as it were the headless horseman, an individual in office who does not bear the mantle and sponsorship of the Great White Brotherhood. I can assure you that should this occur, it will be the darkest day in America's history since Saint Germain did anoint George Washington to that office. The deliberation then is given whether or not that mantle should fall upon one who does not hold the office, but who is capable of keeping the flame of that office in our name. Thus, when I tell you that I declare my candidacy, I am telling you that I am searching for the Chela who will make himself, herself worthy to bear that mantle should the day and hour come on Inauguration Day that the one who takes the oath of office does not receive the corresponding spiritual mantle. Blessed hearts, you remember the years when Godfrey was in embodiment in America. In those years, beloved, there were some who occupied that office who were truly not worthy. That mantle could not be borne by them, yet it did still rest above them, though they never did integrate with it. Thus it was, beloved Godfrey, while he was in embodiment, who did keep the flame for that office. One wonders in reading the history of the nation how the nation has survived her presidents. It is because of the heart and the fire of the people. Whereas one may have borne the spiritual flame of the office, while the wrong one occupied it, millions of hearts bore a portion because of the profile and the image of Christ they outpictured in some measure. Thus, almost as the collective or community consciousness of this nation has that office been upheld. Unfortunately, this is no longer the case in this day and age, and those who occupy positions of leadership do so in an utter betrayal of the founding principles and the spiritual light from on high. Understand, beloved, that there is a parallel here to the call that has been sent to you to become a part of the order of the diamond heart of Mary and Morya. Here, beloved, we see that many keepers of the flame, bearing a portion and becoming a portion more and more daily of that diamond heart, can secure the spiritual grants and dispensations that flow through the office of the messenger for the saving of the light bearers of the world, and, if not saving a nation, saving the opportunity of a nation to rise again. Consider this which I have said, beloved. Some nations have been lost on earth, and their dispensations are not retrievable. They will not rise again, not in this particular thousands of years of cycles. In the case of America, as Saint Germain's dispensation has been given, so a portion of it has been already lost with his exit from the nation's capital. Understand then, beloved, that all those who raise up the diamond heart in the spiritual path for the maintenance and the holding of the balance of karma in the earth may also hold a portion of the mantle of the office of the president. And in so doing, beloved, being a part of my heart, you are not only running for office, but occupying until a people may bridge the gap of their neglect and ignorance, and once again, by the momentum of your heart, the magnet of the central sun and that diamond, come to a realization of who and what they want to be in that office. And when they come of age again, the age of courage, beloved, then it is your magnet, your profile, your presence, your right action that will be the nucleus whereby a people once again deserve a Son of God in office. Blessed hearts, understand the deeper meaning of the dispensations of God to earth, and know that so long as Alpha does remain, extending to each one of you his mantle and his presence for a fiery mission and purpose, we say, onward, courage. us sing to our beloved El Morya, to the melody of Believe Me, of all those endearing charms. At this hour, approaching 11, I'm asking for the large basket which does hold your letters to the karmic board to be placed in front of the Christmas tree. I'm asking you to finalize your letters. In the break we have, you will find nourishing food to keep you awake and very alert and very much in a fiery spirit. Let us not make this break too long, and let us not allow the break to break our attunement with El Morya and the great wisdom he has delivered to us. I can tell you that he is the embodiment of his cry, onward, courage. So he has taken courage to enter the race, and no doubt his crisscrossing the nation should lend a lively sparkle to the debate, as he does force the issues and force the exposure of those who represent nothing, who are hollow, who have black auras, and who are guaranteed to betray the people and the nation should they enter the White House. The number is
193.
Let us all understand and ever extend the knowledge of God's sacred plan, that the earth may be raised to her place in the sun, in fulfillment of your great desire. Master Morya, we bless thee for being the one to assist our beloved Saint Germain, to expand his great work as before thou hast done, and to raise us again and again. Thou art always our Lord, the great cosmic Lord, now step to the veil to our side, that we all may be bathed in the